What's up, guys? Today I've got a very exciting video for you. We're taking a look at Hafuduct's team, so we're doing a player spotlight on Hafuduct. I've only ever done one player spotlight before, and for those of you who've been following the channel this whole time, that player was Front Fight, playing the first ever, as far as I know, the recorded version of Grasshole, as we know it. And you guys know how that team turned out. Became one of the most infamous teams of all time. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. I'm not here to judge, I'm just here to observe. But I have been extremely select with my player spotlights in the past, so I really do think that this team was both creative enough with Escavalier as a Pokemon you don't even see in Great League at all, and successful enough. As you see, Hafuduct hit 12th in the world with this team. So it was an incredible team, and I'm really happy I got the opportunity to take a look at this one. So huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, and let's get into this gameplay video. So I actually haven't taken a look at any of these games beforehand. I kind of just guessed the order these Pokemon are in, so I'm glad I'm correct, because I just figured I didn't want to ruin the experience for myself either. This is a ton of hype, so let's just see how these games go. Fortunate switch here. Pelipper into Politoed is pretty good as long as the Politoed doesn't have Blizzard, and even if it does, it's still pretty good. But this switch, this Registeel switch into Abomasnow is quite a good matchup. Obviously, Abomasnow can eventually take it down, but the goal here, it looks like, is to get that Focus Blast off on that Politoed and create a great farm situation for Pelipper here. Hafuduct does respect the Blizzard here. It looks like they were just baiting after all, and I think the main reason here throwing the Focus Blast is to get that huge farm down, and his opponent does not respect that Hurricane at all. Hafuduct is able to make that catch on a Registeel. You can see some really hype catches. This was with the 30-second switch timer as well, right? So catches are even more important than ever. This Abomasnow is barely going to take out this Registeel, but that's not Hafuduct's only answer to Abomasnow. We're going to see this Escav come in. And unfortunately for his opponent, the only option really is to come back in with the Venusaur here, and this is not really a winning matchup for Escavalier as well, especially with Pelipper in the back with a loaded Hurricane. Hafuduct elects to spend their second last shield here, but they've got to be worried about a bit of a switch play happening too. Got to be wary of catching, especially in those games where you have the same amount of turn lengths as your opponent. And yeah, not even gonna go for the Weather Ball. Just gonna go for the straight up flex on the Hurricane on the 1 health. Abomasnow fainted about 100 times over there. But yeah, well played. And just also notice these names that Hafuduct is playing. These are these are some of the best players in the world. I honestly can't believe he played this many good players in this short of a time, even just being at the top of the leaderboards. So we've got a Sableye lead versus Pelipper. Pelipper slightly outpaces. I'm not as familiar with these matchups as teams that I've actually played before. I actually have not played a single one of these Pokemon in Great League. Yeah, Venusaur switch in as countered by Escavalier. So Venusaur is a Pokemon that we see a lot more often nowadays. Venusaur, Umbreon, Medicham, those Pokemon are starting to come all out to the front, and honestly, Escavalier does, besides, well, not Medicham, but it does pretty good with Venusaur and Umbreon, all these tanky Pokemon. These Bug Steel types really coming out strong recently. You saw Butters put out a video with Shadow Fortress. Same thing. Bug Steel typing in this meta is incredibly good, as long as you're able to hit back against those dark types. So Escavalier running counter. And we have Fortress running Bug Bite. So Hafuduct doing a great job counting moves right there, making sure that their Venusaur is right at a move when he's throwing, so there's no wasted energy. And I think, yeah, he realizes that his win condition is getting the shield down, so he throws the Hurricane, I guess hoping for a shield probably, but at the same time, it's fine if the damage goes through. I think the way that he would lose here is just baiting Weather Balls. Because once that shield is down, Focus Blast is going to be able to take out Obscune. In this case, obviously the Obscune is a little bit too low. We're just going to see likely a lock-on down before anything gets too crazy. Yeah, and Magic Mason, yeah, there's so many amazing players in this video. It's incredible. So we have another good lead. And in comes Skarmory. So Skarmory versus Registeel is not as good as you might think for Registeel, but it's still a very solid matchup for Registeel, I believe. Or is it better? No, Altaria is the one that does pretty good against Registeel. So they're going to Brave Bird and Dip, and that was the name of the game with the 30-second switch timers, but it doesn't really matter if you keep alignment as long as there's no catch. So this Pelipper is going to be able to deal quite some hurt onto the Sirfetch'd. Hafuduct really wants to take out the Sirfetch'd without having to spend another shield, so we're going to see these Weather Balls fly out. And this player really, Magic Mason, really favoring this Sirfetch'd, so you really have to wonder what's in the back and what's able to deal with this Pelipper. And yeah, great catch by Hafuduct, allowing his Pelipper to gain an absolute ton of energy. Really playing this Pelipper like it's his MVP at the moment in this game. And yeah, this Sirfetch'd unfortunately is gonna get a little bit of farm, but oh boy, yeah, this is rough. Leaf Blade might be enough to take out Pelipper. But we do end up with Sirfetch'd versus, Escavalier versus Wigglytuff. He's building up to 2 moves because he's going to need one to take out the Sirfetch'd. And hopefully that the Drill Run is good enough to take out the Wiggly, which it is. And we're going to see this really hype battle wind down to just a Drill Run against the Sirfetch'd there. Sirfetch'd likely would need to make it to that Brave Bird to do any sort of damage to Escavalier. This match, we're going to see a Pelipper Mirror. Oh, you'd love to see it. They're already out of sync. Some classic Niantic right there. Both building up to that Hurricane. And we're going to see a bait come out first, which is going to get the shield. And we'll see if this is a bait backwards. And yeah, it is. So we're back to square one. Hafuduct switches. It's an ABB team, right? So you do want to be switching, and it looks like, I guess, the safe switch right. I think this is the first lost lead we saw, or switch out lead we saw, and it was Registeel. So makes sense. Escavalier, a little bit harder countered by those fire types, but who sees any fire types anymore? This Registeel versus Galarian Stunfisk matchup is very interesting. Registeel wins it, or whichever Pokemon has the energy advantage wins it in the no shield. But winning switch isn't always the most important thing in the world here. You see this Pelipper, or the opposing Pelipper, gets a little bit of farm advantage. So Hafuduct actually does have to go, I guess not really the bait at this point, because a Weather Ball might be enough to take out the Pelipper, or at least keep it really low. And this is what you love to see here. So not too many bug types able to take out Bastiodon, but oh boy, if Escavalier does not love seeing this guy. 4 times super effective counters. Oh, there's the screenshot to Hafuduct with the high APM screenshot play. Not only is he hitting 12th in the world, but he's also doing so and looking good along the way, taking some pictures. Umbreon, I'm surprised that this isn't a faster switch out for Hafuduct, just because Registeel also, yes, 30-second switch timer. He goes for the catch. Great catch by Hafuduct, kind of getting those switch timers a bit out of order, and especially if this Umbreon decides to stay in for a little bit. Registeel, I guess, a Pokemon that you don't see very often anymore, and the focus has kind of been on Escavalier so far in this set. But Registeel almost has become a spicy pick itself, despite, in my opinion, being one of the better Pokemon out there still. And it breaks a lot of course, just people aren't ready for Registeel. And I'm assuming that's what's happening to this player here with their Umbreon. If Umbreon is their best Registeel counter, then they might have some issues. And yeah, they're going into they're going to double shield the Registeel, and Hafuduct decides to save his Registeel, I think realizing how important that Registeel is to the backline. And Escavalier switch in brings in this Azu, which is a bit unfortunate. Hafuduct knows he's going to shield that one regardless, so that's why he's charging up so much, I believe. And these drill runs they're going to hurt. Actually, great catch on Registeel, although I'm not sure if it might have been just a little bit of a better play to throw the drill run, but I guess he's saving the drill run or energy for potentially that Umbreon later. He knows that he's going to have to be able to nuke that thing. Now that he doesn't have, I guess, his Registeel's Focus Blast, right? This Mega Horn. Mega Horn is a Shadow Ball clone, I think. It deals a ton of damage. Shadow Ball is a gray move, so is Mega Horn. The only problem with Escavalier, like, you look at the moves, they're awesome moves, but they're a little bit expensive. Oh, he's actually just going to go for the Drill Run here. Yeah, I might have went for the Mega Horn. But I guess he's assuming that his Escavalier might get taken out before then, and he's just making the safe play to try and get guarantee that he can get a Weather Ball off. Rip the hype of a Mega Horn against Umbreon. I'm sure we'll see some of that in this video. And if you notice, yeah, this team very spammy with charge moves too. Our switch timer, or sorry, our game timer is almost up. So you can probably time out some people with this as well. Playing against Onion Frank, another person at the top of the leaderboard. Charm, I wonder if switching faster would be better there, but through Hafuduct's play, it looks like he does really enjoy getting that farm on Pelipper. Pelipper probably the most efficient use of energy here, with Weather Ball just being, I don't know how else to say, it's a little bit broken. But Registeel versus Medicham, this matchup is, I don't think, nearly as nice for Medicham as some of the other steals that you'd be able to just take down. Yeah, it doesn't quite make it to the second Flash Cannon, but they do come in with the Alolan Ninetales. And I'm surprised not to see a swap into Escav right away here, as this, I think, is a pretty decent matchup. And you kind of want to maybe save the Pelipper. Yeah, you're just getting the Ninetales into farm down range so that this Escavalier can get a little bit of a lead, stall the switch clock with Drill Run, and hopefully take out this Medicham at some point. But this Medicham is going the straight power-up punch route. And Hafuduct is going to switch in and re-unalign these switch clocks. But unfortunately, we're going to see a Bastion come out here. Oh, this might actually be game-saving. Pelipper just gets to the Weather Ball here. And Escav is going to come in and quickly hit that top left button. Yeah, close call. Unfortunate Bastion in the back, but it is what it is. So we have another Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales has been everywhere recently. And we're going to switch into Registeel, which will bring out Deoxys. So this is a matchup I know a lot about. I played a lot back in the day as the Deoxys user. Let's see what their opponent decides to do. They actually are going to spend a shield here. Yeah, Deoxys has to spend a shield to win this. And they have to spend 2 shields, I guess, generally, if they don't want to throw... If they don't want to throw that Thunderbolt, which I really think that you should just do. Unless they're just running Rock Slide, in which case it makes a lot of sense. So Hafuduct makes a nice snipe play, storing up that Weather Ball for a reason earlier, right? Able to bring that back in and take out that Deoxys and all extra energy that it had. So yeah, exactly what you love to see. Escavalier goes into that Alolan Ninetales, and guess what breaks the Alolan Ninetales Umbreon core? That's right, is this guy, Escavalier. These counters are going to hurt. This Mega Horn is going to kill. There's not too much this Umbreon can do. Oh my god. Hafuduct is showing off at this point with the sack swap onto Registeel, and throws with great charge move timing so that they can't catch this Mega Horn, which is kind of important. It'd be nice to take out the Alolan Ninetales too, but obviously the Umbreon at 50% is a much bigger threat. And here, next battle we have against Ventusky. Ventusky, another amazing player. It's another Sableye lead. Sableye's Deoxys were everywhere. We're going to take a look at Pelipper outpace this Sableye once again. But at the same time, Sableye is going to do enough damage that Pelipper does need to shield every single one of these if it wants to live with any sort of reasonable amount of health. And this is interesting. This is a Razor Leaf Cherrim coming in. Hafuduct throws the Hurricane and gets out. There's a couple good options for this Cherrim. Oh, no, there's not, because it has Weather Ball Fire. So this is actually a pretty tricky situation because of the bit of a slow switch. Well, I guess if this Cherrim was not Razor Leaf, there would be some bigger issues, but Hafuduct creates the perfect situation for him to be able to farm down that Charm and come into this next matchup with a little bit of energy. In fact, enough for a Flash Cannon, so a good catch as well on this foul play. And this will give Hafuduct some room to breathe here before the next charge move. This Sableye was threatening to farm all the way down. And unfortunately, it does have enough energy for 2 foul plays at this point. And in the back is Registeel. So this will be a pretty tight matchup too. Drill Run obviously is going to chunk, but this Focus Blast is going to deal an absolute ton of damage unless it is caught. We should have a catch counter for this. I believe Hafuduct is catching like at least once per game. But yeah, they're gonna GG out there. I don't think Hafuduct needs to throw that Drill Run, but he doesn't need to save the Drill Run for the Registeel either. Sinix is playing a Shadow Victreebel team, a man after my own heart. Oh, this feels bad though. Registeel, one of the biggest threats to the Victreebel Bastion core, if that's what Sinix is running. We'll see what this is. Yeah, Hafuduct knows this matchup too. It looks like to win the 2 shield, you need to be shielding Leaf Blades. If you don't shield Leaf Blades, then you're not going to win. Oh, does he know this matchup? He does. And watch for the catch, but there's no catch this time. It's very hard to count Registeel, and this Flash Cannon will take out Victreebel and win the all-important switch advantage here. So this is going to be the Charm Ninetales and Bastion team. So you might think it's a bit weird to come in with the Pelipper here against the Charm Ninetales, but I do believe that Hafuduct actually knows this team already. And this was a team that Sinix was talking to me about in my chat, which I think is a pretty interesting version of the Victreebel Bastion core, having the Charmer there, because it kind of plays like an A-B team. And once again, keeping the core the same, the Shadow Victreebel and Bastion, but it's a very clever reimagination of it as well, right? Because it used to be an ABC team, right, with Deoxys defense. Then it was an ABB with Vigoroth. Now with the Charmer, it's a bit different again. So very interesting. But we have a Shadow Hypno lead, and Hafuduct is going to get right out into that Registeel. Unfortunately, it's running Fire Punch, as a lot of these Shadow Hypnos are. But having the Confusions be resisted is probably the most important thing versus Hypno in the first place. You can always shield those Fire Punches. And actually, you can just catch them instead. Hafuduct so confident on this catch that there's no shield, despite the fact that this Hypno is probably running Thunder Punch as well. So, incredible call there. And with this with the switching that's happening here, Hafuduct is kind of trying to slowly chip down this Hypno. But yeah, the Azu coming in is kind of a tough deal. Oh my god, another catch. See, there's like at least a catch a game, I swear. And Hafuduct actually going to go for the Focus Blast versus this Mandibuzz. Both are neutral. Focus Blast a little bit more expensive. But we're going to see another switch. Not a catch, just to delay the switch timer, I think, to stop that farm down of Registeel. That's one of the biggest, I guess, downsides of Registeel, is that if you have shields, it's really easy to take advantage of and farm down. So being able to avoid that is a pretty big deal. And he's going to switch back into Registeel now that he knows that this Mandibuzz is within Flash Cannon range. And this Registeel is forced to throw. So at this point, obviously Escavalier is the only Pokemon remaining that can kind of deal with anything here. And with shields down, Hafuduct is banking on the fact that he can take out whatever Pokemon that comes in before it can get to move. So mainly that Hypno is the big deal, right? That Hypno has Fire Punch. That is not something that Escavalier can even take one of. And perfect undercharge as well to take down this Azu. And perfect charge move timing to make sure this Hypno can't catch. Because that was a worry too, right? That this Hypno switches out to the Mandibuzz and catches that Mega Horn. But great charge move timing. Actually, a lot of great mechanics from Hafuduct in this one. I'm really liking a lot of these wins. See a Haunter lead here. This is pretty tricky, actually. It's pretty good against Registeel because it's one of those Pokemon that can kind of take advantage of it with shields, and it's pretty good against Escavalier, outpacing it and only fearing the charge move Drill Run, right? So Pelipper does have to be the one to take out this Haunter. It gets slightly outpaced and slightly outdamaged, but it is the Pokemon that needs to be able to do this, and I think Hafuduct realizes that they're going to win the race to the second Shadow Punch and let it go down. So we're going to see a Mandibuzz come in. And great charge move timing again from Hafuduct. And these Mega Horns will really hurt. Yeah, there we go. That's a ton of damage. And he's playing this game exactly how he should. Trying to shelter his Escavalier a little bit and take those hits on Registeel instead. So Hafuduct's going to throw this Focus Blast with the chip damage from that foul play. An Earthquake is going to be enough to take out the Registeel. But once again, Switch Timer's back up, and it was a bait anyways. So Escavalier is kind of left out in the open here. Remember, there's also like a 2 HP Haunter, which is kind of a big deal. We're going to see a Drill Run thrown at a Mandibuzz. This is not something you see not as BM very often. But I guess what Hafuduct is trying to do is conserve some energy and get a farm down on Registeel. But it might be a little too late here. Haunter, even at this amount of HP, this is what I'm talking about taking advantage of. Because you need a Flash Cannon at 100% HP or 50% HP to take out the Haunter. Registeel does get it off, but it's going to be a little bit too late there. Well played by Hafuduct though, but Haunter very rough for this team, it looks like. Dirt Ficus as well, very good player. Let's take a look at the Shadow Abomasnow lead. Looks like Hafuduct is making the same play, and I don't know how you, what a catch. How do you catch on 7? It's because I feel like people would be throwing Weather Ball at the Pelipper. I guess he knows his opponent very well. But yeah, some of these catches are absolutely insane. We're going to see a Weather Ball hit the Registeel. Obviously, this is nowhere near as good of a matchup for Politoed as it is for G-Fisk. And another fantastic catch. Holy crap. We're going to see a catch on Pelipper, which will once again offset the Switch Timer. Ooh, this is a tough choice. If he wants to save his Pelipper, he's going to have to shield. CMP tying and getting this Weather Ball off and getting the full farm down off too. So that's a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, it is a Pelipper in the back, and Pelipper is a bit rough for the rest of his team. And I think he knows that as well, going into the Escavalier, hoping to get some damage off. Yeah, those Weather Balls do an absolute ton of damage. But Escavalier's out of move now, and it might be able to farm down this Politoed and bring some of this energy into the Pelipper. We'll see if he actually gets a shield here from this Drill Run. Drill Run not really known for dealing a ton of damage to flying types, but the shield does come out, and Mega Horn is going to deal a lot of damage to Pelipper. Yeah, unfortunately, this Pelipper might be a little bit too farmed to allow Registeel to get to this next move. But we'll see if the combination of Pelipper and Escavalier can counter down. Yeah, it's a tough choice which one to come in next. You don't want to get farmed down and have a move thrown against you. Which is exactly what doesn't happen here. Interesting. I really thought that the Pelipper would have thrown Escavalier, but that great win by Hafuduct. Really switching it around to get into those good matchups. We have an Azu lead. Pelipper, I think it does have to be the one to deal the majority of the damage here. Make some catch plays for sure on Registeel or Escavalier. Both of them take that neutral damage from Hydro Pump, but resisted from the other two moves, and it's the opposite for Pelipper. So there's a lot of value in these catch plays here. Yeah, and Hafuduct noticing that his opponent's just going straight Ice Beam is going to make that easy catch onto Registeel. Fortunately, we're going to see a Shadow Machamp come in. This is a pretty hard counter to Registeel, really not allowing it to do too much, and it's going to get a huge farm. Well, it was until a 30-second switch timer happened. Pelipper's going to come back in, be able to double Weather Ball this Machamp, or only single Weather Ball the Machamp, but get rid of that the second shield. And now this Machamp is in a pretty tough position because Escavalier is going to be able to farm this Bastion all the way down with yet another catch from Registeel. I actually can't believe how many catches are happening here. This is absolutely insane. And unfortunately, CMP breaks a little bit there. And instead of being able to just get that drill run off, it's CMP ties on the second one, which Escavalier loses. It looks like cross shot would have got off anyways. So, and it's right down to the wire, but unfortunately Bastion will be able to take out Escavalier. This next match against Paco Pineda, another great player, another Azumarill lead. Let's see these bulky water types. Well, I guess Pelipper's not that bulky, but these water types face off in some resisted wing to paw combat, I guess. Azumarill's a bunny. They have paws. Yeah, so going to be the same thing as last time. I'm sure Hafuduct will start to be looking for a catch at some point here. And he's going to get it. Or is he? Yeah, Ice Beam. So, great catch. And once again, another Reggie counter comes in. But this one isn't so much of a Reggie counter. You're going to get to that Focus Blast. And get the shields. Before they are. I think... oh, I'm actually surprised at the shield on the Registeel. Because I do believe that Escavalier with shields can come in and just farm that G-Fisk down. But that is okay too. And we're going to see if this Hydro Pump is caught on this Pelipper. It's an Ice Beam, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. I think that Hafuduct was trying to catch that pump there, which would have been nice, but either way, this Registeel, catching any move is going to allow that Registeel to get that Flash Cannon off, and Hafuduct is overfarmed a little bit here, giving him his best shot at getting to that Focus Blast. And they bait. So, not even going to throw the Focus Blast, just going to switch. You see Escavalier, and shield up this Rock Slide. And unfortunately, oh, this is rough. Yeah, this is one of the only Steel types that has a pretty good time against Escavalier. And it's Skarmory, but these drill runs are only single resisted. And yet another catch to Registeel. Not only does it serve as a catch, but also this Focus Blast is going to be enough to almost take out the Skarmory. And this Escavalier has a drill run banked, so great energy management by Hafuduct as well, to make sure that he's going to get that drill run off. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to take out that G-Fisk. And, oh man, that was such a close game, because I think Escav is able to take out that Skarmory afterwards too. So yeah, the Beebs Bro is coming out. That's right, Hafuduct, take that screenshot. Beebs Bro is kind of a big deal. Once again, another fantastic battler up top. And we see a Registeel into Umbreon matchup, which you love to see as the Registeel player. I haven't seen Hafuduct bait here yet. Baiting with Flash Cannon doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Flash Cannon is almost as expensive as Focus Blast. And if they do call the bait, Umbreon's a Pokemon not everyone likes to shield, then you can run into some troubles. The problem here is Alolan Marowak is the lead, so it actually is extremely important to win switch, or at least force his opponent to switch here. So he does have to shield Foul Play. And he'll probably have to shield another. Oh no. But he has to be worried about that catch. And that's exactly what happens here. It's not a catch, but he's got to soften up that Azu a little bit, realizing that his Pelipper is also needed to take out this Alolan Marowak. Yeah. Oh, so interesting switch. This is a very next level play by Hafuduct coming in with the Escavalier here, trying to get that energy advantage by farming down Azu. And then with the energy advantage, it should be able to take down the Alolan Marowak. But instead, Beebsbro comes back in with the Umbreon. Just because, I guess, if he comes with the Marowak, then Escavalier is going to switch out. So he's sacrificing, I guess, his safe swap here to realign his Pokemon. But unfortunately, the Umbreon wasn't able to get off a move, so the switch timer wasn't stalled. And Hafuduct now essentially has switch advantage again. So Hafuduct, no shields remaining, is going to let his Pelipper switch out with a move, Weather Ball, to take care of this Alolan Marowak probably later, and hopefully he's able to counter down with the Escavalier. And even though Escavalier 4 times weak, sorry, double weak to fire types, Drill Run hits back super effective. It's kind of like Beedrill. If you can get that advantage, that energy advantage, you can take him down. So yeah, this is a series of exciting battles from Hafuduct. Thank you so much, Hafuduct, if you're watching this, for sending all these videos, and thank you everyone for watching. And let me know in the comments if you do like this kind of content. I've really been very stringent with my requirements for player spotlights in the past, and I probably will continue to do so in the future. Remember, this isn't a channel for spice necessarily. I really do want to be showcasing stuff that actually works. And obviously, if Hafuduct is able to hit 12th in the world with this team, there's something right about this team, right? But yeah, let me know in the comments if these kinds of gameplay videos are videos that you do like watching. And yeah, thanks for watching.